Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Nate. I'm doing a overdue trade recap for my trade of the week, which was actually on Monday. So we caught 270 points, and we're using the AMD, so accumulation, manipulation, distribution, or also known as the power of three model, and this is for reversals. So I'm gonna show you guys kind of what I saw on the charts. So let's get into it. So let me actually choose the layout. Let's go to November the 17th at 9:15, and I'll take you to exactly what I saw. We'll actually look into my Discord channel where I gave my bias in the morning. So let's go into Nady. Scrolling up, it was the 17th. Okay, so pre-market, what is going on? So we always have to keep in mind what is going on during the overnight session before we even come up with a plan, right? So what happened last Friday? Last Friday, we have overnight huge sells. I think it was like over 400 points, right? Off open, we get a manipulation lower, and immediately we see a distribution leg. So the model I'm trying to emphasize is this accumulation. See, buy orders are accumulating here. Off the open, where's my box? Manipulate lower. The manipulation phase doesn't have to be too long. We just need to see strong displacement in one direction, and then the distribution leg. The distribution leg is the final true move where we break out and expand. So accumulation, buys, accumulate. Then we manipulate the market lower. We accumulate more buys through this. This is not people trying to push the market down to push it down forever. This is people trying to push the market down to find a better and more optimal entry for their longs, right? And then obviously the distribution. So let me actually get this off the chart. So that's just an explanation of what the model is, right? Now we're going to go into the overnight session for Sunday. So what happened? We can mark out the 6 p.m. open right here. 6 p.m. open. We're grinding higher overnight. We make this high up here. London high. Right, I use this indicator just to show it. London high, and then early AM we pull back into almost 0.5 of the range. And keep in mind on the higher time frame what has been going on, right? We've been selling off. We're no longer at the equilibrium point. We're actually in deep discount, and I'm always going to be expecting some sort of reversal whenever we get these steep sell-offs like this move from Friday. I'm always going to be trying to take this long. So for Monday, I'll show you what I was looking for. I said, in my opinion, we're in a great spot to potentially bounce from. I'm only going to be looking for longs today, right? If you draw the range from Friday's low to the overnight highs Sunday or whatever, Monday, I guess, you can see that we were pretty much rebalanced. Price comes down, we reaccumulate buys, and now we're just looking for a confirmation that longs are going to be valid. So if we hop down to the lower time frame, I believe I was executing on the 30-second. So off open, I'm going to be looking for the same AMD or power of three model. So here we have accumulation. I want to see price off open. Where's 930? Somewhere here. Manipulate lower, and then eventually do the true move and expand higher. Hopefully you guys are picking up on what I'm trying to explain. So right now looking for manipulation into the open, because at key times like 8:30 when we have news, that is when big orders come and price tends to manipulate. 9:30 as well, we have the opening volatility. Then there's 9:45, which sometimes there's like red folder news like PMI, and at 10 there's also some red folder news and orange folder news like Michigan consumer sentiment that will create these swings, these false swings that ultimately are the reversal points and the start of the distribution leg. So enough talking. Let's go into the open, looking for some sort of manipulation lower. Ba, 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 ba. Let's see if we get it. Okay, so right here, we finally get big move down. So from the open, where's 9:30? From the open, we get around like a 60 to 70 point sell-off. And now we see a very, very strong displacement higher. I believe I entered long. My exact fill was 988. So yeah, about that. Using this 30-second inversion as my entry. We could have used the change in the state up here. Could have used the change in the state, but that means we would have to have a wider stop. With the entry that I had down here, right? Basically, I'm risking only from here, 88 to 60. I'm risking only 25 points, but if I'm entering up here, I'm going to be risking almost double that. So that's why I entered, just simply based on the fact that we're inverting this 30-second. And yeah, we have clear targets above. We have these highs up here, this high, and ultimately just let the trade play out, because this is the manipulation and now we're in the distribution phase. And it was very, 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 very quick delivery, going for the highs. I think we can go to the 1 minute now, and we have London highs above. Ultimately, I took most of my trade off around like 200. I can see actually here. I took most of my trade off at like 240 points, but it did run to 270. But yeah, this is kind of the model that's been working for me lately, and it's pretty simple. It's highly discretionary, right? What that means is you can't just be like slapping random patterns. If you see a big dump, right? If you see a big dump, and then okay, you'll see a 30-second inversion. It doesn't mean that this is the AMD model. This is not the manipulation to go lower. This could be the accumulation, right? We could come back up and chop. What you need to look for is at these key times like 9:30, 10 a.m. and at these levels where right here we're at 0.5 of the range, we rebalance this whole range. Higher time frame is looking pretty bullish overall, right? Higher time frame is looking bullish overall. These are spots that I would lean in and look for a reversal. You can't just take this trade randomly nowhere. Like at the top of the range, like this would be a stupid idea to take it at all-time highs. I'd be like pretty sketched out. But because we have these few days like massive sell-offs, right? We have pretty huge displacements down, red candles, like $300-400, $300-400 like NQ points overnight. It doesn't mean the market's gonna fall off the face of the earth. We're not gonna dump to zero. Someone is eventually going to step in and buy the NQ here, and when they do, they're going to manipulate it lower at first, and then they're going to rocket it up. And that's kind of the setup that we see here. Manipulation lower and like 300 points higher, and that is the same thing that we saw on the previous Friday. On Friday, we caught the manipulation shorts, just anticipating the model. This is a little bit riskier to do, and we sat on the sidelines during the distribution phase, and you really do not want to be trading during accumulation. And yeah, everything is gonna be posted in the Discord. We're getting more active, so yeah, I would click the link in the bio, join up. I think there's a free trial right now. And if you have any questions, you can always DM me. And yeah, this was the bulk of the profits this week. The rest of the days, I was just doing tiny scalps and actually a lot of overnight session trades, not which is not part of the model. But this is something I'm gonna be looking to share in the future. And yeah, hope you guys have a good one. Take care.